I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co. and welcome to a Solo Sunday playthrough and review. I'll be reviewing and playing Smitten as well as Smitten 2, which I've played Smitten a bunch. I don't think I've reviewed it on the channel, and I've played Smitten 2 less because it only just arrived, but I definitely haven't reviewed this one on the channel. So you'll be getting a playthrough, a solo playthrough, as well as a review of both of these. Now it's worth noting that both of these games are a two-player game as well as a solo game. I've played both of them in both formats. We'll talk about my thoughts about that when we dive into the review. But let's go ahead and just start this off over here. The basic idea is you are completing two grids, or you're trying to complete two grids. So we're going to shuffle up the cards, and then we're going to take one card and put it off to the side. Then we're going to reveal, and this is a little different in solo versus two-player because you're trying to mimic the hidden information. So I'm creating my hands of the two players on both sides over here. We have two face up and one face down, and that's knowledge that I have. In fact, actually what I'm going to do is because it's closer to me, I'm going to rotate which one is further away as far as the face up versus face down. Not that it matters. We're going to place this in the top corner here. We're going to have this card and then this card. Now the general structure of play is you don't have to take turns as you play. What you're doing basically is you can choose when it's ideal to play a card. But you basically have three grids. Now a grid is going to be a 3x3 grid of 9 cards. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then again, the exact same thing. But two different grids we're going to be creating. These are not the grids, these are the hands. That'll become clear as we play. And when you play a card, it generally has your partner, which in this case is going to be the other hand, playing a card as well. But when you play a card, you play the card, you activate the ability has your partner doing something, then your partner plays a card without activating its ability, which is usually what it's going to say to do. And then the general idea is if you can complete 17 of the 18 cards, that set aside card then gets added as the final card. That's the basic idea. Now the main difference playing it solo versus two-player is two-player you have your own hands of cards. The amount of cards you have is depending on the player count. Solo you have two hands of 3 cards, one face up, one face down and 2 face up. Past that, I may have to reference this little rules over here because I want to play on hard mode and I don't really remember. Hard mode is if you play a 5 in the left grid. Okay, fine. Okay, I'm going to play hard mode 1. There's hard mode 1 and hard mode 2. We're going to play hard mode 1. So let's take a look at our cards. This one says your partner must place a card in the grid. That's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Your partner must place a card in either grid so that it completes a row or column. That would be a bad card to play now. I could play this. The problem is this is tricky because if this is a 4, keeping in mind there's two numbers of each type. So this has the potential to instantly lose me the game, meaning you can commit a face down card and then see how it plays out. But because there are cards that can be instantly lost, it's unlikely that this will lose us the game, but we could lose right away. If we lose in the first turn, I'll reset. If we lose later on, we'll just lose and move on to Smitten 2. So, your partner must play a card in either grid and trigger its instructions. Oh, that's interesting. So you must play it and trigger, or your partner must place a card in the other grid. So, right now, here's what I know. By getting the 7 out, the 8 will be playable. This one, you want to get the 4 out. So we're going to place this down into the bottom left corner of this grid. That's going to be our 7. Okay, we're going to play that. Then your partner must place a card in the other grid. So whichever grid we place this in, you have to place it into the other grid. You can play into either grid. Your partner has to place it into the other grid, though. So we're going to place this down as a 4 over here. Is this the right move? Is this the right move? Because I could place the 8 down. No, I'm going to place the 4. I'm going to place the 4. Although I could place this down. Oh, wait, I forgot. When you play your first card, your partner's face down card becomes revealed. So now I know that I have a 5, which does give me a lot of flexibility. So I think we're going to place the 5 down directly into the middle of our grid. That gives us a lot of flexibility as to where things go. Then, at the end of your turn, you're going to replenish your face-up cards if you need a face-up card, and your face-down card if you need a face-down card. And then again, we decide. Same kind of situation. What do we do? Now, the tricky part, by the way, is you can't play a card unless it's adjacent to an existing card, which means right now it's pretty easy, early on we're starting fine, but it can get harder. Your partner places a card in either grid, but neither player may draw cards this turn. Oh, I'd rather place this without triggering its ability. So if we want to do that, we could place the 4 out, but then that would not work. We could place the 8 out. Your partner must place a card in this grid. That is doable. So what we're going to do is we're going to place this 8 down over here, and the ability says your partner must place a card in this grid. We're going to lower these a bit so we can fit everything perfectly on camera. And this one is going to go into this grid. We're going to have, this is going to be our other grid. So we have 2 different grids here that we're working with. They are going to be very, very touching. But so we have grid 1 over here. This one said your partner's place a card in this grid, so I took the card, although I should see this first. Ooh, do I want to do that one? No, that's a good one. That's a good one. Great. Okay, so we're going to slide this down over here, and we're going to replenish our cards, face up and face down. So once again, who goes first? The 3 can't be played into either grid because it would be here and here. These aren't working. The 4 could be placed here or here. So the 4 can go into either grid, but then your partner has to place a card so that it completes a row or column. So if you place a 4 here, the 6 could go here. That does work, but it starts limiting this grid. I really want to grow out this grid, which means if I place this over here, then the 2 could go there. So fine, we're going to do that. So we're going to place the 4. Your partner must place a card in either grid so that it completes a row or column. Basically, you're trying to think through whether you'll have legal plays as you do this. This flips over, so we could place the 8, but it won't complete a row or column. We could place the 2, that will complete a row or column. There we go. Now we have one row done over there, and then we once again replenish our cards. Let's take this over here. We got a 7 over here, and we have that one. So our 7 is pretty safe. We can place the 7 over here. That would work. We have our 3, which could go here. Your partner must reveal the top card of the deck and place it in either grid. Now, if I do that, this is what you want to think it through. So if I were to place this 3 down over here, if I do that, then any number would have a valid placement. A 1 could go here. 2 could go here. No, 2 would not work. A 2 would not work. So we don't want to place that. We don't want to potentially get ourselves into a situation where it doesn't matter how unlikely. If I have plays that will not lose me the game, I'm not going to go with an unlikely play. So we have the 8 over here. Your partner must place a card in this grid. That wouldn't work because we have a 3 and a 7, so there's no guarantee on that. The 6, your partner places a card in either grid, but no other card with that number may already be in the grid. Okay, so that's tricky. Now I could just commit this. If it's a 2, it goes nowhere. If it's a 1, it goes here. If it's a 3, it goes here. If it's a 4, it goes here. 5 goes here. 6 goes here. 7 goes, not a 7. 8 goes here, and 9. So a 9, if this is a 2 or a 9, we're in trouble. So we actually are in, this is where we start getting situations where you could lose. Your partner must place a card in this grid. That's not going to work. Your partner must reveal the top card of the deck, then place it in either grid. A 2 or a 7 would cost us the game. I think the difference between this one is this one a 2, 3, or 7. A 2, 3, or a 9 would cost us the game, versus this one would only cost us the game if it's a 2 or a 9. Your partner must place a card in the other grid. That's not going to work. Now we don't know what this card is either. So I think we're going to blind play, which might be wrong. The problem is I don't want to blind play this one. Your partner must place a card in this grid. The likelihood of that working is not great. Your partner must place a card in either grid. That's not good. Your partner must place a card in the other grid. That's not good. Wow, this is really not good. I think we're going to have to do the top card play. So, your partners reveal the top card of the deck and then place it in either grid. So this is where we start getting into a situation where we could lose. If this is a 2, a 3, or a 9, we lose. It's a 4. We are safe. Your partner must reveal the top card, then place it into either grid. So I've done that. Also, technically, we now see this information. This is actually what's interesting, because this is a situation where we see this information, and we actually have all the cards face up right now. It's a rare situation, but it can happen. Because as soon as you play a card, you see the top card. This one's now going to refill over here. So we have our decks of cards. Sorry for how cramped this is. I might widen the shot next time so it's a little bit more distinguishing, because these are technically, this is like a hand, grid, and grid. Let's see. So now we have another 3, which we can't play. We have a 5. Choose higher or lower. Your partner must place a card in the other grid that is higher or lower than 5. So you must choose higher if we place it in the left grid. You must choose lower if you place it in the right grid. That's the hard mode, okay? So if we place this in the right grid, choose lower. Your partner must place a card in the other grid that is higher or lower than 5. So I would not be able to do that. That's not a good play. Your partner must place a card in this grid. Not going to work for me. This one doesn't work. This one could go over here. Your partner must place a card in either grid, but no card with that number may already be in that grid. May already be in any grid. That would be bad for me. So again, we're kind of in a hard situation. Same situation as before, but this time, this is now going to fail on a 1, on a 2, 3, or 9. Or 6. No, 6 is fine. 2, 3, or 9. Same problem. Same problem. We have a 2, 3, or 9, and we don't know which one is available. That's not good. No, not 3, because 3 is out of play. So there's a 2 and a 9 in play. We do have the set aside card. So it really comes down to, what are the potential values? We have an 8 over here. We have a 9. 9's in play. Because this one says choose higher or lower. Your partner places a card in the other grid that is higher or lower than 5. So the problem is if we play choose higher or lower, your partner places a card then this would have to effectively be a 1. So that can't be played. Your partner places a card in this grid. This would go here. He can't place the 3, he can't place the 7. He might be able to place this if it's anything except for a 2, which we know is possibly in play, a 3, and a 4. So a 4, and a 3. That gives us a 50-50 chance. Your partner places a card in either grid, but no card with that number be in that grid. That's not likely to happen because if he places here, same problem, but it's even more restrictive. So I think the way to go is it's going to be a 50-50 chance at this point. The other option would be blind commit this, but if that's a 2, a 3, or a 9, we can't do it. So I think our highest chance is placing an 8, at which point we will see whether this is a legal placement. Because, by the way, if you started this being like, how can you even lose this game? This is how you can lose the game, because there's 5 cards in play right now. There's these 3, there's this one, and there's this one. I'm just talking to myself before I show that card, because once I show the card, I'm stuck. At that point, this says your partner places a card in this grid. This grid would be anything is fine except for a 2, 3, and 4, but we know the 3 is out of play, so it's a 2 and 4 from 5 cards, which means I have a 40% chance of failure right now and a 60% chance of success. Let's find out. We have a 9. We are great. Okay, your partner places a card in this grid, so we're placing that in this grid like there. We did not fail, which is good because 40% chance is not like confidence-inspiring odds. That's that, which means now we get to refill our hand. This one is going to get a face-down card, by the way, because that's the downside. Us is this, actually. Us is this. That's interesting. 2 face-down cards, so less information is helpful here. But what we do know is we know there's only 2 cards out of play and 2 cards in play. So how do we want to do this? If I play this, and it's a 2 or a 3, which it can't be a 3. If it's a 2, we're stuck. The only card that this would stick me on is a 2, I believe. And that same is true for this one, by the way. But a 2's ability is your partner places a card in either grid and trigger its instructions, which is dangerous because if we place a 2, well, if we place a 2, we lose. So I don't know if I care about that. So if this is a 1, and we can choose which grid it goes in anyway, but if this is a 1, we don't even know what the 1 ability is. If this is a 6, then the 6 is over here. In fact, a 1 is actually statistically likely right now. So knowing the 1 ability would be helpful, because of the 4 cards that are out of play, 2 of them are 1s. But let's just see if we can do it without doing blind. Choose higher or lower. This goes here. Then my person would have to play a card in this grid, which would have to be lower, but it couldn't be a 3. A 6 over here would stop that. Your partner plays a card in either grid, but no card at that number may exist in either grid. Interesting. So there is a strong chance that if I play this, that this is a 1. There's a 50% chance. So placing this here would potentially open that up. So that's one option. Your partner places a card in the other grid. So if I place this here, I could place this here. Oh, that's good. That works for me. Great. We're going to place this. Your partner must place a card in the other grid. We're going to flip this, and we have a 2. Okay, we can't place that one, but we could place this one, not triggering its instructions. We are good to go. The face-down card gets added over here, and then we, yeah, we're fine. Okay, great. Okay, well actually let me double check that. The last card draw I'm not actually sure on. And then the turn, draw both up. The hand that started the turn draws this card first, so this card is going to be placing it face up before face down. So it goes here. So we have more information on that last play. That's good to know. Just reading the rules in that one. Okay, which means now, if we place this one here, then we know this is a 1. We know these are both 1s. So if I know they're both 1s, but I don't know what a 1 does, that's where the problem is. Your partner must reveal the top card of the deck, then place it in either grid. Now, what happens if I can't do that? Card 3 doesn't specify. Your partner must reveal the top card to reveal another one. Okay, I'm not sure because it doesn't actually specify what you do with a 3 if you reveal the top card of the deck. So let's try to ignore that for right now. This one we can't place. This one, choose higher or lower. So if we place it here, we'd have to choose lower, which means we know this is a 1. So that's great. So we're going to place this here. We have to choose lower because the ability of the hard mode on solo. So we're going to choose lower. We're going to flip this. We know it's a 1, and we place it down over here. Beautiful. Now we continue playing out right now, but let's see if we can just not get stuck. Your partner must play a card in either grid and trigger its instructions. So if we place this here, oh, that's tricky. Did we lose? It kind of comes down to the 3. It kind of comes down to the 3 over here because right now, if I place this here, your partner must play a card in either grid and trigger its instructions. So if I place this here, I could then place your partner place a card in either grid, but you don't have a partner. This is where, okay, so fun fact here. This is where we're stuck on some of the rules over here. Lose instantly if either hand cannot play a card, if I play a card face down, or if a partner can't follow the instructions. So if you can't follow the instructions, then you lose. So I think we lost. I think we lost, just for the record, because here's what happens. If we play this here, then we reveal the top card of the deck. There's a top card of the deck, so we lose. If we play this here, your partner must play a card in either grid, but no card must exist in either grid, so we lose. And if we play this here, then what we get to do is we do this one, then we get to do this one, but then my partner cannot play a card because he has no cards, and so we lose. And so we got pretty close to winning, but we lost. I'm kind of tempted to do it again. I'm tempted to do it again. We're going to do it again. We're going to do it again because I want to win. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this one more time. And this is the one, I assume. Yeah. Well, not I assume. I know. I have perfect information. So we're going to do this one more time. Then we're going to go on to Smitten 2. Should I just go on to Smitten 2? I'll just go on to Smitten 2. I'm going to go on to Smitten 2. That is Smitten 1. Reviews coming at the end of this little solo Sunday video. All right. Let's do that. And then we put that to the side. And we open Smitten 2, which comes in a nicer box. Artwork by Vincent Dutrait on the first one. Artwork by the Micho on the second one. If I can get these cards out, that is. All right, that's that. And then that is that. And let's do the exact same thing. Now, the hard mode here is slightly different. Let me just double check what the hard mode is. The hard mode for solo is the first card played and the last card played must come from the left hand. Okay, we're going to do hard mode. That's interesting. The last card you play, by the way, you do not trigger instructions, in case you're wondering, because it would be impossible. So you just don't. But that's specified in the rules. Outside of that, same basic rules. I don't think anything changes gameplay-wise, so we're just going to dive into it. Let's create our hands. Let's take card number 1 and put it off to the side. Let's create our hands over here. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, that's going to be that. And then we go over here. We placed 1, and then 2 and 3. Well, I didn't actually do 2 and 3. I just said it, the words. 2 and 3. Now, again, we are going to be trying to fill the hard mode, which means starting and ending here. Your partner must take a card from either grid and place a card of +1 value in either grid. Now, I will say, by the way, we'll get more into this in the review part of things, but I did find the text in Smitten 2 to be not as immediately clear as to how things work. And there's not really clarification, so we'll do our best. Your partner says a card that has no cards further right in its row. Has no cards further right. Okay, so I can do that easily enough. Placing a 1 is not dangerous yet. Placing a 6 is probably the best way to go. So we're going to place this down over here. Okay, that's going to be our 1. And then that's going to say your partner must place a card that has no cards further right in this row, but we do reveal this. Ooh, that's interesting. That might change my opinion. Does that change my opinion? Your partner places a card in each grid. Each grid is a fun one. That is a fun one. I think we're going to go ahead and your partner must reveal a card from the hand and the top card of the deck. Place one in the hand, the other in your hand. We're going to do this one because I think that gives us choices. Your partner places a card. There's no cards. So there's no cards that are further to the right in its row. Now, to me, my assumption is it doesn't mean the rightmost card. It just means there's no cards further to the right. That's my assumption. But this goes back to like some of the text things are not 100% clear. Then we will refill. All right, so we're going to refill our hands. We're going to refill. And then let's see what we are doing. Now, again, either player can play. Your partner must place a card in each grid I can't play. Your partner reveals a card from their hand, then the top card of the deck. Then you place one of them in either grid. Are we already in trouble? No, we're not in trouble yet. We're going to place this over here, which means we immediately reveal this one. We now have a 9. Now, if we reveal the 9, we're in trouble. But if we reveal the 5, we have a legal placement. Then we reveal the top card of the deck, and we have an 8, which we can't legally place. So we're going to place the 5 in this grid, place one of them in either grid, put the other into your hand. Okay, so we aren't going to have anything there. This will come down, and we'll have our face down card. All right, let's see who can go. The 9 can't play. The 3 can't play. The 6 can play. Your partner must place a card in each grid. The problem with each grid is there's no guarantee we can place something here. So this grid's really in trouble, honestly. Because a 3 right now we can't play. A 6 we could. A 3 and a 9 we can't play. So here's what we're going to do. Choose a column, middle, left, middle, right. Your partner places a card in that column in either grid. Yeah, this is the tricky part. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to reveal... Oh, this is so dangerous. We might already lose. We might do 2 Blades of Smitten 2. Your partner must take a card from either grid and place a card of +1 value in either grid. Okay, doesn't help us. Doesn't help us. I think we have to just go blind and then hope for the best. But we have more flexibility as to this person going. So we're just going to go for it and see what happens. We're going to go blind. We lost. We lost. We lost. We lost. That was fast. Okay, let's do this again. Let's do this again. We're going to have 2 plays of Smitten 2 because I don't think that was a good showing of Smitten 2. But let's do this. Let's shuffle it up and go for a 3rd game. Which the tricky part is I almost didn't want to do Smitten 1 again because I was like, if I do 2 plays of Smitten 1, then I have to do 2 plays of Smitten 2, and I don't know if I will want to do 2 plays of Smitten 2. So I was like, let me just do 1 play, and we'll just do 1 play of both games. Could have done 2 plays of Smitten 2 and could have done 2 plays of Smitten 1. Could have just done that. All right, let's take a card, put it off to the side. We're going to put our hand out over here, face down and face down. Then we have face up and face up. And then we have face up and face up. Okay, let's not get stuck too early on with a bad grid. Your partners perform 2 in any order. Place the top card of the deck, randomly discard to the bottom, or commit to playing next. Randomly discard to the bottom of the deck. Okay, we're going to do that. So we're going to place this over here. We're going to 2 in any order. Place the top card of the deck, which I cannot guarantee. Then randomly discard a card to the bottom of the deck. We're going to take this and put this to the bottom of the deck. Randomly. Randomly. Okay, randomly. So we're going to have to shuffle this up over here. This is the tricky part. I actually don't know. Card 5. If the partner discards, flip the remaining cards in the hand face up. Oh, so all cards will be face up. So we are going to do that. And we're going to shuffle a card, put a card randomly, and put that card randomly to the bottom of the deck. It's the 5, which is the one thing I didn't want to do. Let's make sure we're good to go on the other 2 cards. So now, the other thing I can do, in any order, I discard a card, and I can probably commit to playing next. Your partner must follow the instructions of another card of their choice in the same row or column of this card. I'm just going to... Same row. Oh my gosh, this is... Or, place the top card of the deck. Well, I could place the top card of the deck. I'm going to place the top card of the deck. We're going to place the top card of the deck because I can just place it anywhere. So we're going to place it over here. That way we get some grids moving. Beautiful. All right, great, because we have no restrictions until our first card is played. Then we put a face down card, a face up card, and now let's see who goes. So the 8 can be played. Choose a column. Your partner places a card in that column in either grid. Okay, that's easy to do as far as choosing, because this can go here, but I'm a little wary of getting too stuck over here. But I don't have a choice. So I think I am going to do this. We're going to do this over here. We're going to place it here. You must choose a column. Let's see this card first. And then your partner places a card in that column in either grid. This one is reveal card from the hand, the top card of the deck. That gives me flexibility. So I'm going to place this one. I'm going to choose the column left and then place this here. This one's almost a cheat with solo mode because you have like nearly perfect information, at least more information. You're not as caught out. This is in single player. In 2-player mode, this is a trickier card. We're going to swipe that down, put that over here, put that over here, and then we can once again go. Now we have a 3. Your partner must take a card from either grid and place a card of +1 value. So this is a tricky one because, so for example, this is where the first thing, if I place this, I can theoretically take a card from either grid and then place a card, but am I allowed to leave a split off section? I would assume you can, but we shall see. But if I do that anyway, so if I take a card from either grid, I could take the 5 and then place the 6, but I can't place that because that won't be legal. Each player simultaneously reveals a card to place. Choose the grids after revealing. That's theoretically doable. We're getting stuck here. We're getting stuck here. But we're on hard mode right now. Oh my gosh, okay. I could place a card blind, but then 6 would be legal. Well, if I place a card blind, a 1 would be legal, 2, 3 would be legal, 4 would be legal, 5 would be legal, 6 would be legal, 7 would not be legal, 8 would not be legal, and 9 would be legal. So 7 and 8's blind are a problem. Your partner must place a card in each grid. Can I do that? If I place this here, that works. That works. We're going to place this here. Your partner must place a card in each grid. Let's reveal this and see what we got. We have another 3. We're going to place a 3 over here. And then I think we're going to choose the 3 because I like the ability on the 9 better. So we're going to choose another 3. Okay? That gives us all that. So we have 2 grids that we are forming right now. And now we refill our hands. So this one's going to go to our face down card, our face up card. And then we have a face up card. Who wants to go next? Well, honestly, we're getting a little cramped on table space right now. Let's move this over a bit more to remember how I want to orient these. And this one's going to go here. And then oh no, that's going to be there because we have a 1, a spot for a 1. But that's relevant because we have a 1. Your partner has a card that has no cards further right in its row. Can I do that? I can. We're going to place the 1 over here, which gives me more flexibility for the 4. That I can get both 4s in play now. And then you must place a card that has no cards further right. I'm going to place the 9, and I'm going to place it over here, and that completes that bottom corner of this grid. Okay, which means now we refill. Although when I place the 1, I should see this. So I'm going to see what that is. That's a 1. It's a 1. I'm going to place this over here. We're going to place this over here. And then we're going to place again. So the 2, your partner places a card in either grid that has no higher value cards. That's doable. Weirdly enough, that's doable. So if I place this here, okay, we've now opened up a 1 placement, and now I can place this here. There's no higher value cards than a 4 in this grid. But that also means we reveal this. That's a 6. Do I want to place the 6 instead? Your partner must place a card in each grid. Your partner reveals a card from the hand on the top of the deck. I'm going to swap that out. We're going to place the 6 instead. The 6 makes more sense to do that. Okay. Then we're going to place a face down card over here and a face up card over here. And now we are no more cards in the deck over here. So now we're down to whatever these abilities do. Your partner reveals a card from the hand, then the top card of the deck. Can't do that anymore. Ironically, can't do that anymore. Just after keeping that. Your partner has to form 2 in any order. Place the top card. Your partner reveals a card from the hand, the top card of the deck. They place one of them in either grid and put the other in your hand. Can't do that anymore either. Your partner has placed a card that has no cards further right in its row. Can't do that either. I may have messed myself up with that placement, which means I may have to draw blind, because this one is reveal a card in the top card of the deck, so I can't do these. This one I can't do unless this is, you know, a 9, I guess. A 9 is the only thing I can place with this, so this is not valid. Your partner has to form 2 in any order, place the top card of the deck, randomly discard a card to the bottom of the deck, or commit to playing next. Ooh, I could do that, because I can discard a card to the bottom of the deck, and that's now the top card of the deck. So let's do that. We're going to place the 5 over here. Our partner is going to discard a card to the bottom of the deck, randomly discard a card. So we're going to see these cards. We're going to see all these cards over here. Okay, in any order it says. So we first of all randomly discard a card bottom of the deck. We have an 8, 1, and 4. Okay, now we're going to do that. That's actually a very interesting play over here. So we have discarding the 4 to the bottom of the deck. Although maybe I wouldn't see it. But no, I would see my hand. That's why. So the 4 is now our top card of the deck. That's why it was, we remember. Which means now place the top card of the deck. So I can just place the top card of the deck. So let's just do that. Boom. Place top card of the deck, because that doesn't stop us. Although I'm going to place it over here because that makes more sense, because the 7 is now freer. Which means I think we're probably good to go at this point. But now we still have a face down card, so we don't have any options there. Your partner must place a card that is further right in its row. Now here's the tricky part. We know that this card is either a 7 or a 9. We know that because the 7 and the 9 are missing, and we have 1 card face out. Which means if I place this here, then I should be able to place the 9. That's not the issue. Okay, we're not done yet though. But that, or 7 or the 9, whichever one it is. But then I can go again. You choose a column, left, middle, right. Your partner places a card in that column. Yeah, so we're good. I'm just mathing out the win. All right, your partner places a card that has no cards further right in its row. We're going to reveal this. It's a 9. It goes here. And then our last play, we'll do this one. You must choose a column, left, middle, or right. Your partner places a card in the column in either grid. We're going to choose left and place this card over here, which means we then immediately take the last card and put it out. And that is going to be a 1 game of Smitten 2. Okay, let's talk reviews, thoughts, opinions, and all of that. So, Smitten and Smitten 2. First of all, I'll say that the solo versus 2-player is a different experience. It's a different challenge, too. You have more information in some, less information in some. It's a very different experience overall. So if you like the game, definitely try it. Or if you get the game, definitely try it in both modes, because I do think they give you different experiences that are similar and yet unique. Overall, Smitten and Smitten 2, I don't know if I have a strong preference for one or the other. I have a slight bias towards Smitten because I think I found the rules on Smitten 2 to be a bit more confusing on some of the cards, and some of them are a bit more fiddly, which almost makes sense if you're designing a concept a second time. The first time, the more natural abilities all came into play, and the second time, less so. I do like the box of Smitten 2 better. I wish this was the same box over here, so that's slightly annoying. This feels not great on the shelf. This at least feels like something on the shelf. But both are fine. Boxes, I'm not going to be grading this based on boxes. The art in both is great. It's a cute, puzzly game. That's what it is. Both of these games, they're very similar. Very similar. Slight preference for Smitten 1, but having both is just, having variety. These, honestly, I feel they should have gone in button-shy wallets. I kind of want a button-shy wallet. Jamey, I know you don't watch reviews, maybe you watch playthroughs. If you can design little button-shy wallets for these games, I think that makes so much more sense. Like, people have button-shy games. It goes along with a standard game-type box. Anyways, I like both these games. they're not amazing. Sometimes you get stuck on random chance. Sometimes you play to the best of your ability. There's a degree of mathing out what's possible. The puzzle is different, single player or two players, because you're just working with different kinds of information as far as what you know, what your partner knows, and that kind of situation. So it's just a different experience. Not better, not worse, just different. Overall, the biggest complaint I would have against this is that sometimes you play the best you play, and it just comes down to a random, you just don't know. You could just get stuck. And so if you find that frustrating, this is not a perfect optimization game. This is an optimization game where sometimes just the luck of the draw is the luck of the draw. You could lose on turn one. Actually, I don't know if that's true. You can't lose in turn one. You can lose very early on based on like the worst hypothetical situation happening, and just it is what it is. But generally, good play will result in a higher win percentage, which I think is good for all games. You can never guarantee a win. This time you're just playing against fate as opposed to playing against other players. I find these enjoyable, simple, accessible. They are not amazing. They are just good, simple, accessible games. I'm going to give Smitten and Smitten 2 a 3.5 out of 5. I enjoy them for right now. They're the kind of game that isn't a forever game for me. They're the kind of game that one day I look at the shelf and I think to myself, you know what, I've played it out. But that day has not yet come for these. So far, I'm still enjoying them. And small box games and filler games are always easier to hold on to. Anyways, that has been your Solo Sunday playthrough and review of Smitten and Smitten 2. Until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. Hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one.